What a season! Sorry I never showed up, but I got married, I had a baby, I went back to school, I got my GED. What did you do while you were waiting? Hopefully you didn't just around and waste your life. Ooh-wee! See ya for season 4 in like a really long time. I might even have a big white Santa Claus beard. See you then.
Hey everybody, this is going to be my first season 4 video talking about all the stuff that's coming back, what the writers have said behind the scenes, and things that have actually been confirmed, along with what the Rick and Morty video schedule is going to be during the off season. There will be weekly Rick and Morty, I'll still be doing the weekly giveaway, and if there are any other TV series or things you want me to do videos for, let me know in the comments, but be sure to subscribe to get everything. So starting off with the big things first, a lot of people are asking about the Santa Claus episode theory. So Mr. Poopy Butthole says that he might have a big white Santa Claus beard when he comes back. Like there might be a Christmas episode BBC Doctor Who style. The BBC is just known for doing special one-off Christmas episodes for a lot of its biggest drama series. So I think largely based on that and the idea that they did the April Fool's Day special episode, like they aired it as a one-off, they might do something like that again when season 4 comes back. But there hasn't been any indication from the writers that that's their intention. This is actually something that one of the writers said, like, don't people get tired of being wrong about stuff like this? Like, he's saying that they're probably not intending to do that. This will get into where they are in their season 4 production, because if they actually did have a season 4 episode that would air this Christmas, that means they would have had to send it off for animation before the summer even started. It takes at least 6 months to animate most episodes. So this is actually a pretty clear timeline once they finish writing and recording episodes and send them off to be animated. But based on previous experience and the way they treat characters that they bring back and big ongoing storylines, some of these are actually pretty easy, so I'll just count down from 10. So number 10, we're staying in the same reality. That's probably the most obvious thing. That's why they kept saying in the episode that jumping to another reality would be a super huge bitch, and why Rick had to become fake fly fishing Rick at the end of the episode so that he could stay in this reality and function the way that he had previously. But just like they did in Season 3, Episode 1, Season 4, Episode 1 will probably just have a quick line of dialogue about all the craziness that happened during Season 3 and what they've been doing since then. Number 9, they're not going to go back to Beth being a clone versus being real. They'll probably never address it again in a really big way. Maybe a joke here or there, but the whole idea with that line of dialogue that she has is that Rick would never tell us and he's not going to kill her. So regardless of where you fall on that spectrum, she's just going to be treated like the main version of Beth. But number 8, Rick's status in the family, like they say, everything's being reset to season 1, he'll continue to be treated as the lowest status member. So at the beginning of season 3, he sort of took control of the family. This is them resetting that back to the beginning of season 1. So the end result of that is that Rick will get to do whatever he wants to do. Morty and Summer will continue to be allowed to go on potentially life-threatening adventures, and Beth isn't going to take him to task about it. Jerry might not be happy about it, like he wasn't happy during season 1, but Dan Harmon explained a long time ago, part of the core concept of the show is that Beth idolizes Rick, so she hopes that someday Morty might turn into a Rick, which is why she allows him to go on these adventures with him. But Morty, just continuing the theme of him slowly getting older, getting smarter, will just continue to be more assertive with Rick. Now, even if you play it fast and loose with how much older he's getting on the show, like The Simpsons, for instance, are perpetually stuck at their current age, but it seems like Rick and Morty is actually moving in real time, so like he gets a little bit older each season, even though they don't directly address it that much. We saw his 13th birthday, so if he was 14 around season 1, he should be at least approaching the age of 17, but that kind of seems like where Summer is, so I'm assuming they're just getting a little fast and loose with how old they get. But you still have to assume that off-screen, Rick is still using that memory gun every once in a while. Like they might never go back to that room, but it's just an easy way for them to control his rate of development. Because otherwise, he would probably go crazy instantly. Like he wanted to kill himself after he got all those memories back. And that's just after the previous seasons, not after anything that might end up happening during season 4. And there's all these adventures that we don't wind up seeing. Like you have to assume that they go on adventures all the time in between episodes.
Let's go, in and out, 20 minutes adventure.
But just like we saw new secret rooms and new secret gadgets sort of emerge out of nowhere, Doctor Who style, inside Rick's lab, we'll probably see more of that in season 4. Usually what that ends up being just depends on the story that they want to tell. Like it's either a room full of Rick clones or it's a room full of memories. So whatever stories they want to tell during season 4, they'll just create another room for that or other gadgets. Like the squirrel gadget that pops up out of nowhere out of the table, or any of the weapons or things that he has hidden around the house. You have to assume that there's more of that we just haven't seen yet, just because they haven't needed it for a story. But even though they rolled back the Beth-Jerry divorce thing and it seems like they're together now, I think they'll slowly slide back to their dynamic in season 1, where she sort of resents him just a little bit, but they're still in somewhat of a loving relationship. But Dan Harmon did say something funny about his own parents. Like a lot of Beth-Jerry divorce stuff is based on his own experience in real life with his parents, who got divorced and then later got back together. But Mr. Poopy Butthole, the Meeseeks, Squanchy will all come back in various roundabout ways. Like we saw Meeseeks during that Star Trek parody, but they didn't actually physically come back in a legit episode. And the same thing with Squanchy too. Like he's mostly connected to that Federation storyline. So if we see him again, it might just be in a picture or a memory, Mr. Poopy Butthole style. Like we got that post-credits end tag with him, but that was mostly a funny riff on the season 2 post-credits scene. That wasn't them bringing him in like the total Rick All episode where he was a really fundamental part of the narrative.
Ooh-wee! Whatever you want, Rick. We're here to help.
Thanks, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I always could count on you.
But the interesting thing I think about this too is they haven't revealed whether or not they always plan to tag him at the end of this episode, sort of setting up a delay for season 4. Like, oh, see you in a very, very long time. Or if that's just a way for them to sort of wink at the idea that it took forever to get to season 3. But speaking of people coming back, Phoenix Person and Tammy, we didn't see them again after episode 1. So at some point, they're still alive, they're still stuck in this reality that we're currently in, so they're around there somewhere in the universe. But the whole point of that story during the first episode was to sort of table that ongoing season 1, season 2 narrative of the Federation trying to get his portal technology, like saying that, okay, we're done with this storyline. So when they do come back, it'll be a little bit different. They'll still want to take Rick down, and they still probably want access to other realities, but it'll have to be a little more insidious because he took out a large portion of their fleet, so there's a couple of them left. And now really the big ethereal threat in the multiverse is Evil Morty. So obviously Evil Morty will come back in some way. He'd already upended the power structure between Mortys and their Ricks on the Citadel. Even without moving directly against C-137 Rick, he'll probably continue to try and spread that paradigm throughout the multiverse. So the more Mortys you have being assertive in distracting their Ricks, the fewer Ricks there are to figure out what Evil Morty is doing and stop him. So I think there'll be a lot of chaos going on in the background, and we can make all kinds of theories about Evil Morty forming an alliance with Phoenix Person and Tammy, but I think when they do come back, they'll come back separately before they come back together, if that is really where they're headed. But really the first big one, you guys will like this. So season 4 will be 14 episodes, like we were promised in season 3, technically. So Dan Harmon actually explained that originally they'd intended for season 3 to be 14 episodes, but because of the delay, they had to adjust their plans. So because of all the changes they made behind the scenes to get season 4 out faster, he said what they're going to do is they'll deliver the first 10 episodes that they would normally deliver to Adult Swim, then go back to them and say, here are the other 4 episodes that we want to do this season. I've already addressed that Christmas episode theory, so if it does take them a little bit longer than next summer to get episodes out, it's because they're doing that extra 4. So remember, it takes about 6 months to animate an episode. The writers finished writing season 3 last October. They went on like a probably brief hiatus, then came back and started writing season 4. So they've actually been writing season 4 scripts this entire year, like literally this entire time we've been waiting to get episodes, they've actually already been working on season 4. The whole reason why Adult Swim hasn't confirmed when season 4 is coming, or even that it's coming at all, is because Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland's contracts were up at Adult Swim. So while I think it'll all work out, we will get our season 4, they really want to give it to us. They just have to figure out the business stuff behind the scenes. And once that's locked down, then they'll say, okay, we're working on season 4, and they'll start tweeting stuff out. But what'll happen next is I'll do a Q&A video. So anything you have about season 4 or stuff from season 3 you want me to include in that, just write it in the comments below, and that'll post tomorrow. During the off season, what I'll probably do is I'll at least be doing Rick and Morty on Saturdays and once or twice during the week. but I'll be doing theory videos, any news that drops about season 4, or anything from behind the scenes or things that they release. So if you have special requests, just let me know in the comments. And if there are other TV series that you want me to do videos for, just let me know. But the weekly giveaway will continue. Right now it's for the Zen Monkey Studios merch. It'll be for the season 3 DVD when they announce that's coming out. So as soon as that hits pre-order, that's what the giveaway will be for. All you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to the winner from the last video, Derek Stahl. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for my finale video, and you can click here to start getting ready for The Blast Season 4, which is coming back next week. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.